media started allowing like comments and Twitter, and social media wasn't like that really before then. And I know that that's something really close to your heart is like cyberbullying.
Yeah.
And I had just started like breaking out, and I was just having such a rough time. And I was in an airport going to Costa Rica, and I could not even get myself to get on the plane. My legs wouldn't let me walk forward. They were just like shaking, you know, that feeling like all the blood was out of all my limbs. I felt like I could not move. I was giving myself a full panic attack. And I found his book in the airport, and it said, Change Your Brain, Change Your Life. And I'm like, I have to change my brain, because nothing was wrong. I wasn't sick. My legs had worked every day before then. I just all of a sudden couldn't get myself to take a step forward. I was so terrified of flying. And then I started thinking, if I'm this terrified of flying now, how am I going to ever tour again? So then I spiraled. You know, he says one of the worst things we can be is a fortune teller, you know, telling ourselves, I'm never going to tour again because now I can't fly. I've flown before. I will fly again. I just have to get a hold of my brain. And so I love what you said about having a reliable source, because that was a question that I had for you, because we actually haven't really had anyone on the show yet that I feel like has as deep of a spiritual connection as you do, and use your platform so much to talk about how your faith is your guiding light. So talking about reliable sources, whether that's God or your family or your friends or Dr. Amen, let's just talk about reliable sources and how important they are.
Well, I think reliable sources can be multiple different things, like I said before, you know, family, friends, therapists, you know, sometimes it can even be a random stranger that you get into conversation with who's almost like a little angel in the moment, or it can be your pet. This is Oscar.
I love when you meet a random angel and you just feel like some stranger just was at the perfect place at the perfect time to give you exactly what you needed to hear.
Yeah, like I always feel like those are God moments. Those are weird encounters that God knew we needed that moment right then and there. And I also feel like, you know, I'm super open and vocal about being raised in church and, you know, having my own relationship with that, and I think there's a difference between being raised in church and then being an adult and having your own relationship with God and having your own relationship with Jesus and spirituality, because what my relationship was with faith getting raised that way is completely different than it is for me in my own journey as an adult. So
I love that.
I feel like I found, I think that that's so important. I think just having community in general, whether it's a church community, whether it's a sports team community, whether it's like a book club community, or any type of like supporting community where it feels like a core group that you feel like you can rely on, and you can go there and there's no judgment, and there's no just, it's just acceptance and love, and it's just pure, and you feel that when you're there. I think that that's really, really important. And I mean, for me, that's church, and that's God, and that's faith, and that's that, but that may not be that for everyone.
And I love what you said about that, because actually, like, I was raised going to church as a believer, and that was a really important part of my life. And I kind of fell off that path a little bit because I think I had a hard time finding a relationship with God that worked for me as an adult. And so actually, just as someone that I'm so happy I just learned something because I love this show, because as much as it's for other people to keep it, you know, keep bright and lit and illuminated, I learned something so much from everyone that I've had on the show. And I think what I just took away from you is I'm allowed to decide what my relationship is with spirituality as an adult, that doesn't have to be aligned with the way that it was when I was brought up, because I was also brought up in a church in Tennessee at a time, you know, in the 90s. So it was a less accepting time.
Exactly.
I have a less accepting time of, like, I had some gay friends in school that the reason I kind of left my church was because they weren't being accepted. They were being sent to conversion therapies. And I had a really hard time with that. And I had a hard time with it as me finding my sexuality too. So I think now you telling me that I'm allowed to redesign my relationship with God as an adult and make it how it feels most accepting to me would make me feel so less turned off by spirituality.
Yeah, I think it's your journey between you and God. It's not your journey and 10 other people's journey. It's just yours. It's between you and him. And, you know, I believe that Jesus is about loving people no matter where they're at in life. So, you know, I've always had a hard time too with church making people feel excluded and not accepted, and like they can't be a part of it because of what they believe in or who they love or who they don't love or whatever
Right.
it may be. I just don't believe that that's what God is about at all. At all.
I'm so happy we're talking about God and not about makeup because this is like what I really need right now. I needed to hear this because when you're saying it's not about you and 10 other people and God, it's about you and God. I think that I'm like in this quadruple thruple relationship with God where it's me and my parents and God. And
That's how I felt too
if I
growing
could
up.
remove them and it can become my relationship with the higher power, whoever's higher power that is, and with God, since that was something I grew up with, now that feels way less intimidating, and I can just talk to God directly rather than it being me and my parents having a conversation, because then I feel like I'm in the principal's office.
Exactly. I mean, I'm always grateful that my parents raised me that way. You know, I'm happy that they brought me and my sister up in church, and that, you know, I would never change that. You know what I mean? I would never have that be different. But I think that their relationship with God is not mine. And, you
Mm-hmm.
know, my mom's personal spiritual relationship, there's going to be times where I don't understand it and I don't think what she believes in makes sense. And there's going to be things where I believe in that she doesn't think makes sense either.
Right.
That's the freedom we have as individuals and human beings.
I love that so much. And so now, just like super quickly, we can talk about a little bit of beauty,
Yes. Okay. Let's get
because
into it.
I was thinking that the fans would think it was really fun to follow along with you, and I don't want you to do anything more than you would usually do on a, your real, because I see like these steps sometimes with tutorials where there's just no way that I would want to go out with that full face of makeup on because it looks really beautiful when you got, look at this that I got. Hold on. You're gonna freak out. I'm like actually getting into vlogging. So I've got this light.
Yes.
Y'all. But under this light,
Yes.
you can get away with anything. You can put on so much makeup. But realistically,
Right.
I think what's always been tough for me is like I actually don't go out and like party that much anymore. So you can wear a lot more makeup when you go out at night, but during the day I feel insane when I have on a mask.
I
So
know.
just really quickly, give us like kind of a little sum up of what you like to use and like what Bare Minerals products that you think that the kids would love to use. And I used to use Bare Minerals all the time, so I love it.
Well, I found Bare Minerals because my mom used to use it, and it's kind of like a whole full circle thing. So I love being with them. Okay.
There used to
If
be
I
a
was going
Bare
to do,
Minerals cult following in my middle school. Like if you didn't have Bare Minerals, you were the biggest loser in class.
right.
So I bought it because I'm a follower.
Right. Because she's trendy.
Yeah,
Um,
exactly.
so if I was going to do, even when I'm going out, here's the thing, like if I'm going out to like a dinner or like we're going out on like a date night, or, you know, we just decide like, hey, let's go out for a drink. It's Friday, whatever. I still don't feel like I'm the type of girl who is that good at sitting in the mirror for 45 minutes and doing like a full, I just don't, I don't think I'm that good at it. I'm a girl who's good at doing like the very natural beat that has
Love.
like a little bit of attitude to it.
Yep.
So if I was gonna do that, my like Friday night going out situation,
Yep.
that's what I'm gonna do. So I always like to do, I'm not more of like a lip girl, I'm more of like, I would do more of an eye and like a nude lip.
Love.
If I was gonna do a lip, it would be like nothing and then just the lip and
Yep.
mascara. But I'm gonna stay away from a lip today because I actually don't have one on me. But I have this little palette that I really like. That's the Rose eyeshadow palette from Bare Minerals.
Love.
And this is a lot of like really pretty nudes and like a
I
little,
love that. That looks a lot like what I kind of use.
yeah, I love that. With a little sparkle, but do a little bit of like this color right here, like a little,
I'm
like,
following along.
like a little nude base color. Just
Mhm.
all over my lids.
Okay, I'm doing the same.
Sorry, I'm gonna have to lean forward a couple times because I'm not comfortable. So that's just all over the base.
Same. with my super extra. Everything in my life is so extra. Palette, thank God, BBB.
I love that.
Like nothing in my life can just be like standard. Okay.
Nothing's just neutral, but that's
No,
what we love
nothing's
about
neutral.
it. Don't ever change that.
It's actually like really extra and no one's noticed yet, but this wallpaper in here is all me. And I never let people come in here because I look crazy. But
Is this
all
the glam
pictures for
room?
my
Like
Instagram.
office glam room?
Yeah, this is my glam room. Like, see, I've got my big extra mirror.
It's so cute.
This is my little office, but that's me. My little like light.
I love that light.
Oh, that's gonna be for when I'm allowed to actually have in-person guests when we're not all quarantined. So that'll be where I have my desk. And then this is like my little couch for my segments.
Cute.
Vlogging / glam, you know?
I love it. It's perfect.
I love it.
Okay. So next I'm gonna go into this color right here, which is almost like a rosy, like
That.
bronzy situation. And I'm gonna do that all over the eye as well.
Okay.
Just a disclaimer too, I already had my face makeup on. That's why I'm not like.
I just told Cody about no makeup. He's like, all you do is lie to me. When I'm like, oh, I have no makeup on. No makeup.
You know what's funny is before we started this, Justin was like, you have that no makeup on and I like it. I'm like, why do you even know what that is? He literally said the no
we
makeup
love
makeup.
the no makeup.
Yes, we love a man who knows about the
what
no
do you mean
makeup
no makeup? That's a thing. My whole life has been a lie.
You're like,